Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm very excited to bring you a review of Wine Spectator's #1 wine of 2023. This is the Argiano 2018 Brunello di Montalcino. I was very fortunate to get this wine. I went to the liquor stores here right away once it was announced in the local liquor store that's near where I work. Unfortunately, they only had the 17 vintage, and probably by the time I got to the other stores, I'm pretty sure if there were 18s available, they would have been taken, but hopefully we'll get them back into stock. But I went to dinner that night at a local restaurant called the Keg Steakhouse. It's a great place, but not very, very high end. But I saw they had Argiano on their list, and I just asked them in passing, hey, what vintage do you have? They happen to have 2018, so I was very excited. And so I got the bottle, and they actually told me, I told them the story, this is the #1 wine of the year, and they actually told me this was the last bottle they had. So I was so fortunate to try it. So I'm very happy to present this review to you. I'm not sure how other people reacted to this, but when I first saw this as the #1 wine, I was happy for them, obviously, but in my mind, I'm thinking, really? It's Argiano. I've heard this wine before. It's Brunello. So I'm so glad I had a chance to taste it because it has changed my impression of this wine. So spoiler alert is that I'm going to be pretty happy about this wine. Again, I've known about Argiano. They've got a long history. So they were established in 1580. And the name is derived. There's a couple of kind of stories how it could have potentially come out. One is that it was derived from Ara Janus. It was the god Janus. And the other one was that it was derived from its location, which is it's the land of the River Orcia. So it's Orgia, and then the Argiano comes from that somehow. So I don't know if that's true or not. But anyways, it started in the late 1500s. They went through a number of ownership changes, and it's always been a good winery. But in my mind, to me, they're more famous for their Solengo, which is their IGT wine, and also the last couple of years, their entry-level wine, Non-Confitor. I thought that was a really great wine. And I know they make Brunello, but I've always thought the quality was okay in the mid-range level. I've had it before many years ago, and to me it was kind of old style. It was kind of chunky, and so again, had I not had the chance to drink this and do a little research on them, then I probably would have missed out something great. So I think that's the other point here to, not just take other people's opinion, including mine, but go and drink it yourself and form your own opinion of the wine. The winery is quite large. It's got about 100 hectares. About 54 of that is devoted to Brunello. The rest, I think, is used for Rosso, for their IGT wine, Solengo, and for Non-Confitor. So this bottling is a blend of 6 different parcels, and in fact now they have now started to produce single vineyard Brunellos also with the new ownership and management team. So generally speaking, they age the wine in 3.5 years in oak, and that is both Slavonian and French oak barrels. And of course, this is because it's Brunello, it's 100% Brunello or Sangiovese Grosso grapes, which are a different clone of Sangiovese, so not the same grape that's used in Chianti region. Before I get to actual tasting of the wine, so in my mind, I was thinking to myself, well, I wanted to kind of make sense of this. Like, this is a winery that, has produced Brunello all along. So what happened here? I guess part of this explained is the new ownership and all the new money, the technology, the emphasis, making the vineyard, more environmentally friendly and organic. All that adds to it. So here is the cork. Fairly simple. I wouldn't say it's a very long cork. Here we go to the bottle. Very simple label, Argiano, Brunello. Beautiful picture on the back, and I think it's 14% alcohol. And then let's go to the color of this wine. Very typical Brunello. It's got a little bit of a brownness to it, if you see. That's not really that much. It's a little bit of age because it is an 18, but that's the general color of Sangiovese and Brunello and Nebbiolo. You'll see that type of brownness. So I'll let you know I had it last night at the keg, opened it up. They decanted half a bottle for me and I had that, and then the rest of it I took back home, put it in the fridge, and then opened it again today. I've had this out now for about, I've been sipping on it for the last couple of hours. So this is, I think, fairly well aerated at this point. What struck me when I first opened the wine, it was decanted and I smelled it and then I drank it. It was really amazingly fresh to my taste buds. It's like, wow. Like, I kept on saying wow because it was amazing to me. What I remembered of Argiano Brunello was not this. It was way more chunkier, old school, rustic. And this was much more vibrant, and right off the nose, you could smell the plums and the roses and the herbs. It was quite amazing. Now, as it got on to the night, it became a little bit firmer with the tannins, but it was really quite vibrant, and that's not what I remembered from past Argiano Brunellos. And even as I'm sitting here right now doing this video, I can smell it right here. So it's a real credit to the winemaking team. That shows you not just what money, but focus can do to change the perception of the winery. And no kidding, this is really a good wine. Like I can see again why they chose this as the number one wine of the year. It is way different a wine than I recall. And I probably, the last time I've had Argiano Brunello was probably about 5-6 years ago, and I didn't drink it again because it wasn't, quite frankly, that interesting. It was okay. It's an okay Brunello, but it wasn't great. And so this really is shocks me in terms of the difference. And if every Brunello tastes like this, if every 2018 tastes like this, then you would have a lot more Brunello fans. This is really accessible. Okay, so let's go through the tasting of this. So on the smell, like beautiful roses, plums, herbs, very easy to distinguish, very fragrant, very aromatic, such a delicious wine. Of course, it's going to have aging potential, but it's so open right now and so easy to understand. My goodness, like again, if every Brunello tasted like this and smelled like this, you'd have way more Brunello fans, because the knock on Brunello is you have to wait a long time. This is so beautiful right now. Honestly, this is shocking to me how open and how delicious this is. I think if you blinded me, I would not be able to tell you this is a 2018. I would probably think it's like got 10 more years of age in terms of its development. It's so vibrant. The fruit, the dark fruit is there, dark cherries, the great acidity, the herbs. It's so well defined. This is, to me, quite astonishing that this bottle is out there. And you know, at 90, I think it's about $80, $90 a bottle in Canada. I still think it's a great price for this wine. If they're going to continue to make wines like this, I think it's going to be like almost like the Productori wines, where it's underpriced, or same thing with Beaucastel. I think it's going to shoot up in price because the quality is ridiculous, quite frankly. I mean, this is unbelievable. And I would encourage those of you who've had Argiano Brunello before to taste this vintage. This is really night and day. If you go back 5 years, this is night and day, honestly. The wine is so different than past Argianos. Let's have another taste of this. Yeah, beautiful. Everything that you want in a Brunello. Very distinct, clean, a precise taste. Dark cherries, plums, herbs, a little bit of toastiness, tobacco, a little bit of licorice, which I know I don't like, but I taste it here. I think you can put it in a decanter for an hour or two and drink it. I think it'll drink well for the next 10, 15 years. I almost think I want to rate this, you know, when I first saw the rating 95 points, I was saying, can Argiano Brunello make a 95 point wine? I just didn't fathom that based on my previous tastings of the wine. But this wine, I'm almost thinking it's higher than 95 points. It's to me, it's like 96 points. It's a really, really delicious Brunello. And again, it's got me back on the Brunello bandwagon, because typically what I taste with Brunello is a little bit older, rustic, very tannic, not this type of vibrancy. And the flavors don't show through this clearly. It's a very easy to understand wine. I'm not saying it's simple, but it's a very easy to understand because the flavors shoot out and it's very precise, and it's not discreet in that sense. The flavors are shine through very clearly, and I really like that about this wine. So I'm going to give it 96 points actually, and I strongly recommend that you go out and buy this wine. Delicious. So I'm really glad I had a chance to taste this, and I wholeheartedly agree with Wine Spectator that definitely this should it's a very worthy wine of the year. Hope you've enjoyed this tasting. Until next time, happy drinking.